I'm Vana from the Vanaverse, and today is a super, super exciting day. I am here with the one and only Megan L. Adams. She is a special dear friend of mine, and I have interviewed you before, but we're doing it again and better and upgraded, because obviously. Of course, if you don't know Megan L. Adams, she is a fantasy romance author. These are her current books released and a potential conversation in later down the line of book 4 coming out. But before we jump into it, the way this event's going to work is we're going to have a little conversation between me and you, like old times.
Like old times.
And then we're going to do a little Q&A with the audience. And then Megan is going to read a section from her new book, Echoes of a Crimson Storm. It is spoiler-free, so no worries on that. And then it'll be a little meet and greet, book signing conversation. We were already starting the conversation beforehand. So before we get started, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this YouTube video. And also check out my podcast, because now Vanaverse Verse and Voices events are on all podcasting platforms. So cool. Make sure you're liking and following and rating and all the things that we tell you to do. All the things. It's free. It's free.
Which is even better.
It takes no effort and it's free. So without further ado, are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. So Megan, if you remember my interview structure from before, I have icebreaker questions for you, which are my favorite. And they're very unhinged. So, okay. First question. If you had to start a conspiracy theory, what would it be?
Cats rule the world at night.
I feel like that already exists. Like,
does it?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like cats have like this like legacy about them that's just kind of like they rule the world.
Yeah,
and we are
it's like this underground network that no one really knows about because we're all sleeping, and then they come out.
Well, they are nocturnal.
They are. Yeah, they are.
So I believe that. I feel like that's not a theory. That's just kind of like a proven fact at this point.
Yeah. See, there we go.
What is the worst superpower that you can think of having?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. You did ask me this question.
Did I? I did.
So I already have my answer.
All right, what's the answer?
Every time you sneeze, your outfit changes.
That is a horrible superpower. Like, how does that benefit anybody?
It doesn't.
Like, I feel like the only way it would benefit is like if you're like running late to something and you just.
But then are you going to force yourself to sneeze? Does it work if it's a forced sneeze, or is it only a real sneeze?
I don't know. Well, is it organic only sneezes, or is it like.
I don't know. Like if I toss pepper at you, will you sneeze? Is
it like, does it activate like if it's brought on the sneeze, or if it's just kind of like natural? I don't know. You're the fantasy author. I have no idea. You figure that out. You make that work. But, all right. Last question here. If you had to share an apartment with one of your characters, who would be the most helpful roommate and who would be like useless?
I feel like the most helpful would be Evren, one of the main characters in the first book, because she's very put together and calm, and she's logical.
Okay,
and that's like the opposite of me. I'm very scatterbrained, and
so she'll keep you in line.
She would keep me in line.
Okay.
The worst roommate
who would just like make the place a mess and like.
I would say Drake, one of the familiars, because he's like mischievous and chaotic. So
and the world is his oyster. He just leaves his mark everywhere.
He does.
Very much so.
So I feel like he's like the other side of my brain. So he would be too similar to me, and we would just.
So basically you're telling us like your brain is like there's a logical side that's calm, and then there's like a chaotic side. So which one dominates?
The chaotic side.
Okay, that makes sense. I love that. Also relatable. But
yes.
All right, awesome. So let's get into a little bit of general writing inspirational questions here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and how did you know you wanted to become an author?
Well, I definitely didn't see myself as an author like long term when I started writing. It was just more, journaling, trying to, work that creativity part of my brain. And it kind of just happened that way. My husband read my work and he's like, "Why are you not publishing this?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe I should."
Do you remember what the first thing you've ever written was?
I've always written like in school, and, as a young student, I enjoyed the creative writing parts of, class, but that
was never me, by the way.
Oh, wasn't?
It was never me. No,
I loved writing papers. I liked getting, here's an assignment, read this book, write a paper. I loved that.
Where were you when I was in high school? All my papers for me.
I love that, but I never thought like, hey, I'm going to become an author one day. Like that was never a thing. And I was kind of thrust into this world, and it's been a roller coaster ever since.
You said you were kind of thrown into it. So what was it like? Your husband, you said like, "Oh, why aren't you publishing?" What do you remember? Like what it was that like made him say that? Like what you wrote? What did you write?
I was actually writing Shadows Within the Fire, and it was just on my laptop because I was, it was just journaling. And he borrowed my computer for something, and he was like reading it. He's like, "Oh, what book are you reading?" And I was like, "Oh no, I wrote that one." And he's like, "Oh." And then a friend of mine who was an author, I gave it to her to read, and she agreed. She's like, "Yep, you need to get this in front of people to actually read it."
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Your husband's like, I married an author. Like
he's the most supportive person ever. Yeah, no, when he actually just read the first book not too long ago, and he like walks around. He's like, "Hey, my wife wrote this. Hey, my wife wrote this." And he doesn't read fantasy at all. He's more like mystery or like nonfiction. So the fact that he read it was pretty cool.
I know someone that also reads nonfiction, and I'm like, love you, honey. But yes, shout out to the supportive husbands.
Yes.
Because where would we be without them, right? Or partners, I should say, not just husbands. But all right. Which writers or books have influenced your storytelling, or kind of you drew inspiration or got advice from them, if you were able to meet anyone specifically?
I honestly haven't met a lot of authors in person. My life is just too busy unfortunately, to go to big events unless I'm working them. And when you're working, you don't really get a chance to walk around.
I can understand that. As
far as like inspiration, when I was younger, I loved classics. So like Alexandre Dumas, The Count of Monte Cristo was probably one of the first books I ever read that was like this story, like drew emotion from me. And I had like a visceral reaction to the book. Same with, I love Jane Austen. I know that's like super, like everyone loves Jane Austen, but no, I really loved her style of writing and her strong female characters. And not only, they weren't just surface level, they all had layers in their characters. And so that kind of characters have layers as well.
Yeah.
You don't just see, oh, she's this cute little girl who likes to wear dresses. Like there's reasons behind the choices that she makes.
She's three-dimensional.
Yes. Yeah. And so I feel like a lot of the classic authors that I really enjoyed kind of encouraged me to have that kind of writing as well. More modern day authors, I would say. I actually just finished a book by Amy Award. She's the funniest writer, but yet she can bring tears to you with the emotion and the depth of her writing.
What genre does she write?
It's, I guess, like rom-com-y.
Okay.
The Cock Down the Block is not the one I just read, but that's like one of the first.
What is the title?
The Cock Down the Block. It's about a rooster. Rooster.
Is it?
Yes, it is. It actually is really funny. Like they have the pet in the book is a rooster.
Oh my God.
And he has, it's like a Star Wars name. It's not Han Solo, but it's something like that. And they've got like this little gathering of chickens with all Star Wars names. It's fantastic.
Oh my God.
So it's like a really funny book, and I'm like laughing out loud as I'm reading it. But the depth of the characters, like trauma that they're trying to overcome, it's the way she writes is fantastic.
Right. All right. I might need to check out that book.
You do. It's so cute.
We will put it on the back burner because I'm very intrigued. You described a lot of different genres of authors that have inspired you, but your work is specifically in romantic fantasy, at least this first series of yours. So what drew you when you started writing Shadows Within the Fire? What made you want to go into like that romantasy route?
I'm a Disney princess and I love magic.
All right. That's like the best answer ever, because I too am a Disney princess.
Yes, I am a Disney princess. No, I've always loved magic, and I've loved being able to step out of the world that I'm in and into something completely different, not only to like escape the chaos of what actually is happening in our world, because let's face it, it is a lot. So it's just nice being able to step away completely. And it stretches my creative brain. I like challenging myself to create a world that nobody else has made.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I leaned into the fantasy. And I'm a sucker for romance, so might as well add a little bit of that in there
You gotta add a
too.
little spruce of it,
Yeah,
right?
just a little bit.
So would you say your book is more, because there's two types that I always hear in like the book community. Is it more romantic fantasy or is it fantasy romance?
It is definitely more, I would say more romance first and then fantasy in the beginning.
Okay.
When I was writing it, a lot of my family never really read fantasy. So I didn't want to like, hey, here's this world. Let me throw you into this world. It starts slow. So the main character doesn't have a lot in her field of view, her perspective in her own world. And so as she's seeing it for the first time, so is the reader, and it kind of just immerses you slowly. Definitely more romancy. Okay. And then as the series goes on, we hit more fantasy. Yeah, high fantasy for sure.
On that topic, a lot of fantasy romances are continuous. Is that the case for your book, or are they standalones?
They're definitely continuous.
Okay.
So the first book is about two main characters, and as they travel throughout the realm, we're meeting more main characters. So by the end of the series, there's 8 main characters, 4 couples. So we're seeing them and we're growing. And so each book is focused on a couple, but the other characters are also still there and their story is building on top of each other. So you cannot read them out of order.
Okay. Noted. So do not read them out of order.
You'll be very confused.
This is your warning. Do not read them out of order. All right. So in terms of like the book community, you and I both know like the romantasy genre has blown up, especially like in like the last few years, probably like after COVID, because we couldn't do anything except read as an author. How is it on your side of things? Because like for readers, like we love romantasy. Like we see like the sprayed edges, we see like the beautiful covers, and we're like, I want it. We don't even know what the book is about. We're like, I want it.
Yes.
I.e. people is me. But
me too.
but like from like an author's perspective, what is that like for you? Like, what has that experience been like?
Honestly, it's almost intimidating because there is I hate to say competition, because, we're all authors and we're all trying to get our story out there, but it can be a little intimidating when you walk into a room and there's like 60 other authors who are writing the same genre as you. I didn't really think about that when I was writing. I just kind of wrote what I wanted to write. And then I'm like, oh, I'm stepping into this really big crowd. But at the same time, it's comforting because I love that fantasy can be so broad. My story is unique and my world that I built is unique and my magic system is unique. And you can't really compare it to others because there's such a variety. There's so much to choose from. Yeah. And I like that about fantasy. Yeah. So. And
it's really cool. Like you said, like fantasy is it's so broad, right? Like you can make anything happen. You could make a plant sprout legs, or, I don't know, like make them talk. Like,
now I'm thinking Alice in Wonderland with the flowers walking around.
Yeah, see, exactly. Or you can make like an animal like fly. I don't know, like a wolf sprout wings. And I don't know that, dude, I'm not an author. I don't write, but I am not creative. But yeah, my point, like it's so like you can make it whatever you want it to be. And I love, I can understand that it's intimidating because, right, I feel like the tropes are all the same, right? Yeah. Like if we see like a slow burn and we see morally gray, we see friends to lovers, we see like elemental magic, shadow daddy, because who doesn't love that?
Who doesn't love a shadow daddy?
Definitely. I love one.
I like a shadow daddy.
But it's like, I think it's how you said, like, it's how you guys each make it unique in your own way. Yeah. Because like the tropes and like the idea is the same. Mm-hmm. It's the same. We could put so many books in line and say, okay, all of these have a morally gray MMC. Yeah. All of these have elemental magic. All of these have enemies to lovers or only one bed or any other trope that we love so much. But it's how you like, what is it in your mind specifically that makes it unique to you specifically?
I like to do fun little twists. So yeah, I have the enemies to lovers, but there's like a twist in there. Or my elemental magic has a big surprise in the second book. It's not like your traditional elementals. There's, I like that freedom to make it exactly what I want. Absolutely. Exactly my own.
Absolutely.
And no one can tell me I can't.
In that chaotic mind of yours, yes. Right? So like building off of that, why do you think readers want to read romantic fantasy or romantasy?
Oh, the same reason I want to write it. I want to escape from the world and I want a little bit of magic and spice in my life.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. I feel like that's all you need. Magic, escapism, spice.
A little spice.
Or a couple chili peppers here and there, Let's talk a little bit about your writing style. We were talking about it earlier. So do you outline your books before you write them? Or are you kind of just like, you know what? We're in it. Let's just see where it goes.
Yes and no. So for the first one, no, I did not plot anything out. I just wrote it because I was writing it for myself and very choppy and messed up. And I was like, oh, I need to go back and fix this because plot holes. But it wasn't until I sat down and outlined it that I noticed those things. So with my second book, I sat down and I outlined it. And once I outlined it, I wrote the whole thing in one sitting.
You wrote the whole book?
I wrote the whole book in one sitting. It took me hours and it was like at 2 a.m. I woke up with inspiration. I'm like, oh, I gotta go write. And I'm sitting in my living room and I'm writing and my husband comes downstairs and there's just like papers all over the place. And because I handwrite my first drafts, I never type them. And so I have chapters on random pieces of paper and sticky notes. And then I'm like shuffling them to put them in the right order based off where I want my plot to go. And then I
would pay to be a fly on the wall to see your husband come down and just see the living room gone. And
you couldn't see the floor.
And how did your husband react?
He was just like, cool. And then just
he's just not phased.
He's like, all right, whatever.
He's like, this is my wife. I know she's crazy. Yeah. It's fine. Let's just let her.
But once I did the outline for the second book and I realized I wanted it to be a series because I wasn't planning on making it a series. The first book was just a standalone. And then I had the idea for the second and I'm like, now I need to plot out the whole series. And so I did the whole thing. I looked like that conspiracy theorist guy with the strings leading to sticky note because each sticky note was a different character and a different color and each string was a different color. And then like who I was planning on like maiming or murdering or something, all had like bows in there and it was like all over this giant bulletin board and it made it a lot easier to write. So I am officially a plotter now.
You're not even a plotter anymore. You're like a detective. Like, okay, like you have like a murder mystery going on in your basement. I can imagine you like the guy like with the strings and he's just your hair is like disheveled and you're like this.
Usually it's like on a knot on top of my head with a pen sticking in it. Like
and you're like, okay, where am I going? Like, where's the character going? Oh God, that's so funny. So what comes first for you in terms of plotting? Is it the characters or is it like the story, like the plot?
I would definitely say it's an even split.
Okay.
I have the idea and I'll do like my basic like bullet plot. And then I go back and I build my characters' personalities. So I start with like an Enneagram or I know there's another one, but I can't remember the name of it. And I do their personalities and I have this like worksheet that I fill out like, oh, what is my character's favorite food? How would my character react to this? What makes my character happy? And I build their personality and then I fit that into my story.
That is so cool.
So like, I don't know how this person is going to react to this event if I don't know their personality type.
That is so cool.
Does it make sense?
You create like a whole like character portfolio for them.
I have like a Word document on each character and like not only what they look like, but how they exist in the world.
Yeah. So how does like the world that world building come into it? Like we're going to talk a little bit about world building, but in terms of just like how you plot it and plan it in your book.
I actually bring the world building in last.
Really?
Yeah, because my books are, I would say they lean more towards romance. Okay. So I really focus on like the character development and the relationship. The chemistry between the characters. And then I place them in the world.
Okay. So you're kind of just like you build them up and then you're like, plop, here you are. And then we're going to build outward. All right. So what would you say is your favorite part of the writing process? Is it like the handwriting part, which is insane to me that you write a whole draft and like.
I do love handwriting on my things. It makes me happy.
That is insane. I can't fathom. Like I don't know. It's just so weird. I can imagine your hand is just like,
it's
shaking.
like cramped.
Like you can't unfold your fingers. Like
so. Random fact. I write in cursive and I guess manuscript. I write in both. So, but this is so random. When I'm writing in cursive, I hold my hand at a different angle than when I'm writing like regular. And so when my hand gets tired, I switch. So my notes go back and forth depending on how tired my hand was.
Oh my! I wish you had brought like a drawer. Do you still keep your?
I have them all. They're like in my office. I have like a row of books, like binders with all my notes, all my drafts, everything.
I love that. I wish you had brought them because I would have loved to see like the cursive and the print. That's so
and there's lots of like arrows and circles and scratching out things, but yeah.
That's crazy. And then you just transfer it all over to
then I sit and I type it all up. That was not the question. I don't remember.
I know. I was more so intrigued about the handwriting part. But so what? Yeah, like back to that is what is your favorite part? Is it that like
That's
first
where we got
drafting? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I like the first drafts, and I love hearing from my beta readers. So my beta readers are the people who get my draft before I send it off to my editor. So it's still pretty messy, but I love getting their feedback because they're like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Or why is she doing this, not that? Or you just said her hair was blonde, but it's actually brown. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Whoops.
So I love working that closely with my readers. It's probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Follow up to that. What is your least favorite part?
I hate formatting my books.
Okay.
I hate putting together the final product.
Really?
It is not something I'm good at. The first time it took me weeks. I remember slamming my laptop closed. I'm like, F this, I'm not publishing anything. I am done. I hate formatting.
I love how that was like your limit.
Because
like,
it's not the creative part.
Yeah.
I've done, this is the fun. This is more like, okay, now it's like business. And I don't like that part of it.
Yeah.
And it was a struggle. And once I got through it, I was like, all right, it'll be easier the next time. And it's gotten easier each time.
So you format your book yourself?
I do everything cover to cover. It's all, besides my editor and my beta readers, it's 100% me. Which is why if you have the first edition of my first book, there are probably like 50 spelling errors in there, and the formatting is all jacked up. And I think the feather is actually leaning to one side because I got sick of doing it. And I'm like, F it, I don't care. Like, it looks better now.
So they have a special
They
version.
do that. They do. They do.
All right. Well, you guys heard it here. And plus, like, I feel like a book is never perfect. I feel like even like books that go through like heavy editing, there's always some kind of.
I have to remind myself about that. Because I definitely have imposter syndrome sometimes as an author. People are like, oh, you write things. I'm like, yeah, but there's a spelling error on page 2 that I saw yesterday. Like, whoopsies. Because we don't have as an indie author, I don't have as many resources as larger authors. I don't have 100 people reading my book before it even goes to the printer.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's like 10 people who touch it before it gets printed. So I just have to give myself a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, also, like, I feel like everyone has like a typo here and there. Like, it's so normal, and I feel like it happens all the time. But it doesn't take away, like, how you said, like, oh, there's an error on page 2. It's like, what reader really was like, oh, she forgot a comma. I'm not reading this book anymore. Like, done. DNF. Like,
if you find an error on my book, please message me and tell me so I can fix it. I am not going to be offended.
All right. So that's your guys' homework. So read the book.
Skim through the book.
Yes. And then if you find errors, let her know. One of my favorite questions to ask authors is about how the characters speak to them and how they find their characters or their characters find them. What is it like? Do your characters talk to you?
What's in my head?
Oh, I want all the chaos.
No, yeah, I would say yes and no. Some of the characters I really feel like Everin, my first character I ever created, she was super easy to create because I was like, I knew exactly who I wanted her to be and how she went from point A to point B. Super easy. And then I have other characters that I kind of had to force. Like, I needed a side character. I needed this person to react or to enter the scene in this specific way. And I had to kind of force their creation. So it wasn't as easy, if that makes sense.
Has there ever been, like, when you're writing the character, like so many authors are always like, no, my character, like, she said, no, like, we're not doing this. We're going this way. Like, has that ever happened to you? Like, do they take control?
Yes. Nazneen, you meet her in the first book, but she has more further into the series, and she kind of took off on her own. She did her own thing. As I was writing, I was like, oh, okay, we're going this way. So
like, you're focused on this person, but you're like, this person's just on her own path, on her own adventure.
Yes. And also my readers, after the first 2 books, I had people reach out to me like, hey, we love this character. We really connected with this character. We want to see him more, see her more. And because of their feedback and their like excitement about it, it made me more excited to write that character more thoroughly. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do you have a favorite character that you have 8 main characters that I can't even imagine the side characters and animal companions here.
Yeah, yes. I would say one of my favorite characters would be Katori in Bound by Earth and Ice. She's one of the main characters. This is actually Katori over here. That's why she's on my banner, because she's your favorite. She's my favorite. They're my favorite couple. I just like how strong she is. And even though she's put into a really bad situation, she's able to still make the best out of the situation and come out stronger on the other side. And she's a badass. Like,
of course. Badass FMC.
She does not put up with crap. So.
That's right. I mean, as an FMC should, right? All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about those books and your characters in a little bit here, but you're the eldest of 7 siblings.
Yes, I am.
First of all, bizarre. Can't imagine having like 6 other siblings.
It's loud. Very chaotic.
I was going to say, growing up, I can't imagine how.
Well, there was the 4 older sisters that were all really close. And then there was a really big age gap between my 3 younger sisters, or brother and 2 younger sisters.
So you have all sisters and 1 brother.
1 brother, yeah. So, he's precious.
I was going to say, I don't know how it's like having so many women around you, but.
He gets really good dating advice.
That's right. I mean.
He calls us and he's like, hey, how do I do this? I'm like, well, let me tell you. So no, he's great.
He gets it from like all the years of experience.
He does. Right? Because there's a really big age gap between all of us. So yeah, he gets a good variety of advice.
Well, my question to you being the eldest of 7, one of your tropes is found family. Yes. And found family is it's my favorite trope of all time. And you see it a lot in romantasy books, in other books too, but specifically in romantasy. So how does your sibling dynamic, you being the eldest, does that have any like inspiration or any like influence to how you create the found family trope in your books?
I wouldn't necessarily say our siblings directly. We're all very close. My family is very close. We have a great dynamic, but because there's so many of us, we were always bringing home stragglers or strays, or, people who come from situations that weren't as great as how I grew up. And my family always welcomed them into the fold easily. I think we have several, adopted, brothers and sisters that, hey, I have nowhere to go for Christmas. None of us are home. And my mom says, still come over for dinner. Oh, so I think having that as my mom and my dad as inspiration for like taking others under their wing, that kind of, you choose your family. And then also I'm a military spouse. So my family's all in Georgia and we move all over the place and I have to start over new each time and make new friends. And I have found that over the years, having family that's not blood related is so important as far as like a support system, going through deployments or TDYs or, even just training where my husband's gone for a month, I can really lean on that found family of, sisters or, other military spouses. If one of us is sick, we show up and we take the kid, oh, let me make you dinner. Oh, you're giving birth and my husband's gone. Here, how can we help you as a family? Yeah. So I guess that's where I drew my inspiration from.
It's really like that village. That theme of like, oh, it takes a village. I love that so much. Yeah. I love that. See, this is why found family is the best.
It is.
And I love that because it's like usually like when you think of family, maybe not now, but like it's usually like your blood family, like your parents, your siblings. But people forget that like people like friends can become family too. It's like people that held you down during any time of your life. How you say you're a military spouse. So during times of your husband's like deployed or away at training, you need those people that you can lean on. Yeah. And like in everywhere too. Because you said you moved a lot.
We have people all over the world that are.
That's so nice. Yeah, but it's also because like when you go visit, you're like, hey, I know this person. I can go stay with you, or I can like go hang out with you, and you know that they'll be there for you.
I was in Savannah a few months ago for a book event, and it was about 2 hours out of the way, but I stopped and saw my friend Tori, and we hadn't seen each other in like years. And I just knocked on her door, and we're like, oh, it's the best thing ever. We're together again.
I love that. So that's sweet. I love that. Oh. Claps for the found family trope.
Yes.
Another thing that maybe people don't know about you is that you do developmental editing on the side.
I do.
So you get the opportunity to read other authors' books and edit them and like see how they write. So how has that helped you in your writing and in your editing of your own books?
I honestly I feel like I have grown so much as a writer because of this. I see smaller errors or, where someone could potentially make a plot hole. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I did the same thing. And so it really makes me view my work completely differently, like a different perspective.
Yeah.
I always encourage my clients to like step away from their work for at least 2 weeks at a time, like while I have it or while somebody else is reading it. And then coming back to it, you see errors or you have different ideas like, oh, this would be a really cool way to show this. And you wouldn't have noticed that if you're sitting and you're reading your book over and over and over again for months on end. So I definitely learned that.
Yeah. It's also like having someone else read it, right?
Yes.
Fresh eyes, bring fresh perspective, something that you didn't see before.
Yes.
Type of
and I'm also more willing to give my work to friends or beta readers or editors because I see the benefit of having that different perspective.
Yeah.
So before I was more hesitant about like, oh, do I really want someone to read this because it's like trash? And I'm like, no, but all of it's trash in the beginning. It has to get better. And the only way to get better is to keep practicing,
Yeah. And I feel like it's like how everyone says, it's like you can't edit something that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So it has to be trash. Like
Yes.
your first draft will be trash. Like
it will. Oh my gosh. I'm working on one right now. And I think I used the word. What word was I repeating? I think I repeated the word like thigh like 20 times in one sentence. I was like, I can't think of another word, but I have to put something on the page. So I'm just going to write the word and I'll go back and fix it.
Yeah. That's a very interesting word to choose.
It was just a random one. I thought that's not the word. I can
imagine like reading like a random sentence in your book and there's no relation to a thigh of any sense. It's like they're climbing a mountain thigh. It's like, that's so funny. I can't. I love that we're getting this insight into your chaotic mind. I love it. I'm here for it. It's amazing. What made you want to step aside and be like, hey, I want to start editing other authors' books? Like, what made you want to get into that?
So a friend of mine, I was reading for her, like to help her with her own writing. And she was like, this is something that you're really good at. You should do it. And I was like, again, like I never thought that I could be an editor. I don't have a degree in English. I have a degree in biology. Like, what am I going to use that for in editing people's books?
Science.
Science. But it was just putting myself out there and getting a lot of really good feedback and people asking me to come back and help again. And again, as an indie author, we're very limited with our finances and with the resources we have available. And I have the time and I have the ability. And so I want to provide a service for fellow writers that they might not be able to get because editing is expensive. I mean, some of the editors I've worked with, the base price is $2,000, $3,000
for the whole book.
For the book. And that's if you are under a certain word count. Wow. And so as someone this is not my income. Like I am a stay-at-home mom. I do not bring in money from this. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And so I'm having to come up with $2,000 for someone to read my book. So I want to be able to provide that service at a lower, more cost-effective price point for newer authors specifically, or military spouses who, we've got like a gaggle of children at home and our husbands are gone. So let me give this service to somebody who could really benefit from it.
I love that. And it is hard. Me being in this industry too, like helping authors with the business side of things. It is like the money aspect is crazy. Like
I'll see back.
I'll see services that are like how you say, like $1,000 for, I don't know, like marketing or like content creation or social media management. And I'm like, that's expensive.
And don't get me wrong. Some of these editors, my primary one, she is a godsend. She deserves every single penny and more. Like she is amazing. And I'm blessed that I can hire her, but some people aren't as fortunate.
But especially how you said, like for the beginning authors, like even like people that have not published not even one book. Yeah. And I think a lot of authors don't know that it's an investment. I think for them, it's kind of just like, I want to write my book, which is amazing. Like definitely put your story out there, but it's also like after the fact, like what happens, like even before you publish, it's like the editing, the cover, the character art, all the things, way more than I do in terms of like what goes into it, but it all adds up. And I love that you offer it and you're able to like offer it at like a more affordable, like just more easily accessible.
It is. I try to do that.
You released your first book, Shadows Within the Fire, in March of 2024.
Has it been that long?
It's been like 2 years. Yeah, it's been 2 years. That's crazy. You've been a published author for 2 years.
Oh, look at that, guys.
That's crazy. It's like not a long time, but also a long time.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I want to know, what would you say is the biggest difference between the Megan that published her first book to the Megan sitting here with us right now?
I don't want to say confidence because that sounds cocky, but confident. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Confidence.
Get that confidence, girl. Like, we love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say
Yeah.
confidence because I mean, I again never thought I'd share this story with anybody. And the fact now I'm writing my fourth book and I'm not even questioning it. I'm just doing it because I love it. I found something that I'm passionate about and nobody's going to take that away from me.
That's right.
So
Confidence is a big thing. You wrote 3 books. You should be proud of that. Shoot. Yeah. Get yourself a good pat on the back. That's right. That's right. You go, girl. Let's talk about your books. Let's talk about your series, Volumes of Elementum. So you have 3 published books right now. So this is book 1, book 2, and book 3.
yes.
And if you were not here before, you have to read them in order. They're not standalone.
order.
She will come and hassle you. Like, do not read them out of order.
People ask me that all the time.
So my question is, for our people, for our friends here, our found family here, how did you come about creating the covers and the titles of your books?
So of all my siblings, sister number 4, Emily, bless her heart, she's kind of like my go-to and I bounce everything off of her. I changed the title of this book at least 30 times before I published it. And she was like, Meg, stop changing the title.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I did not know
it had a ton of titles. And this one, actually, I chose it like 3 or 4 days before I announced it. And she's like, you're not changing it. This is it. I'm like, okay. So the titles actually are related to the characters that are in the book. And they have a specific meaning based off their elemental magic. And in my world, I base each kingdom off a region of the world or a country in our world. And that's where I draw inspiration from their culture and from like their geography. And so that also kind of plays into the title and the character.
I love that.
So, but yeah, the covers I designed the covers myself. Cover designs are expensive.
Yes,
So I taught myself some, not really graphic design, but
she dabbles.
I dabble a little bit. It was a lot of, I purchased photography from artists or I purchased like actual art and I incorporated it and overlapped it and created my covers that way.
It is, isn't it so cool? She created the covers herself. I'm amazed. Blown away. But I want to talk about the map because look at this map. Tell us about the map because, oh my God, it is amazing.
I don't even know if it's... So I have a map that I did myself because, I am sometimes creative. So it's very sad. It was a very sad map. I did it by myself on Canva.
Listen,
it worked.
The fact that you did it by yourself is very impressive.
And then I stumbled upon the cartographer, map person on TikTok. And I was like,
is that a thing? Like there's actual...
Yeah. She designs and draws maps.
Like that's
her job.
Wow.
She's an artist. And I was like, I'm going to reach out to her. There's no way she's going to get back to me. She says she doesn't have time for this. And within 24 hours, she's like, yeah, I'll make a fantasy map for you. She did it all by hand. She had this giant piece of paper on her wall and she took my idea and she drew the map. And it's amazing. Her name's Cassandra. I love her.
Shout out to Cassandra.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
I'm amazed.
She actually came to the event I did in it was Tybee Island, not Savannah. But yeah, she actually came to the event to meet me in person and bring me my map. It was really cool. She was very sweet.
Okay, so compared to like the one you created, right? Which still round of applause.
Oh yeah, no, it was good. It was good for my skill level.
Yes, you did that. How was it like seeing your map, your world for the first time?
I definitely cried. I just sat and stared at it and like lots of zooming in on the computer until I got a bigger version printed. But she did such an amazing job. I would have never been able to do all the detail that she did. And she took, if you look carefully at it, like the geography, there's mountains, there's rivers, and she like drew those out. And it's really cool the amount of detail that she put into it just based off my book and what I told her.
It's amazing. Okay, so you were saying that you pulled like countries from our world. Can you give us some like countries that you got inspiration from?
Yeah, so the city of Peru, which is in Quintir, which is the main continent of my world, is based kind of on Sweden and Norway, like the Scandinavian countries.
Love it.
The Waterfay Kingdom, Kosmima, is Greek islands. Think of like the teal waters and the sharp cliffs and the white and the buildings, that kind of.
So, follow-up question to that. How much research went into
Way too rabbit hole down.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
She's like, I went like my Google history. Don't look at it.
So actually, all of the characters' names have very specific meanings, but they only have meanings if you look up the origin of the country.
Really?
Yes. So like if you look up the name Evren in like Sweden, it might mean something different than if you look it up like in a country in Africa or a country in like Europe, and they mean different things, but then if you find the right one, it tells you what her magic is, kind of thing. So there's like hints about that.
So there's like little Easter eggs.
I wasted so much time on research and like making this like super complex just because it made my heart happy.
But like, it's so cool because like we can tie it back to like our real world and have like those little like, ooh, like,
yes,
I know that, like, I know that. And you said like, there's little, like there's traditions and things that you pulled from the cultures too, which is very
so like the mythical creatures that are in the world that you see throughout the book are related to like the myths of the area I based it off of.
It's just, how did you organize it? Like me, like I feel like I'm thinking about all this and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like my organizational.
There were lots of Google tabs.
Fair.
And Pinterest. I love Pinterest boards because I can like organize it and visually. I'm a visual person.
Yes.
So I like being able to see things.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I feel like you should like have a little like demonstration of like what your laptop looks like and just do we want to go down that road?
It could be a little chaotic and crazy.
It's a little chaotic. So talk to us a little bit about what the series is about.
I would say the main character, if you think of it kind of as like a Rapunzel retelling. Earlier in the interview, I said that our main character, Evelyn, has not really seen her world. She hasn't seen magic. So Rapunzel was stuck in this tower. Evelyn is stuck in her fortress. She's never been outside of the walls because she's sickly and non-magical. And her family is this really like, they're practically royalty, and her family's embarrassed about the fact that she has no magic. And so when her father wants to rule the kingdom the way he wants, he kind of brushes her out of the way. He betroths her to somebody who's not that great. He's abusive and he's this horrible human being. Well, fae being, not human being. And so she runs away, and that's the first time she's really seeing her world and really diving into the magic of the world. And so as the books go on, that's when we're seeing she's going to different like fae kingdoms. We're seeing, we see this bad guy, we see this villain, but is this really the villain, or is this just a puppet where the real person's just like controlling what they're doing? There's layers to it. And so that's kind of each book peels back another layer of what's really going on. Where is this evil stemming from? And how are we going to fix it? And then the first book, you're like, oh, this is the bad guy. And then you're like,
does it build up is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It gets bigger. And it just, the more you look at it, the deeper the bad goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there Easter eggs, like, for example, in like the first book that nods to an event or a character or something that happens like later on? Yeah.
Someone that you meet in the first book comes back big in the second, and then again in the fourth. Yes.
Well, there you go. Going into these books for the first time, what can readers expect?
I would definitely say the first is, fast paced. I wanted to kind of jump in both feet first. We are fast paced into the romance. It is not insta love, but it's like there is no slow burn about it. We are just diving into the story, and then
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, no, it's a good
non-slow burn, a fast burn book, of course. Yeah.
And then it just gets more intricate as you go. So you really need to pay attention to all these small little details that may seem insignificant do come back to play a major role in the plot.
Absolutely. All right. So we talked a little bit about this earlier in our conversation, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the tropes specifically found in your book. So each book has their own set of tropes, but I feel like there's like overlapping ones.
Yeah, they
throughout.
overlap.
Yeah. What drew you to the themes that are found in your book, and why do you think readers can connect so deeply with them?
Well, I feel like for the first one, it's like your basic enemies to lovers, cursed villain kind of thing. It's very, I wouldn't say generic as far as the tropes that I picked. But I feel like what draws people in are those micro tropes that really point to like, oh, I can relate to this, overcoming a troubled past, or not, you can't really relate to an arranged marriage, I guess, but arranged marriage is not something that you see too often, or I don't have any friends to lovers, but having that best friends, that sisterhood between the characters, the four main characters become really, really close, the females. And I think it's those little tropes that are really what pull people in to continue reading.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we love like our big, like we said, like our morally gray, our enemies to lovers, like the big main ones. Then there's like little micro tropes that really like.
Oh yeah. Like I have obviously the elemental magic, but it has a fun little twist in it that you find out in book 2. I have obviously strong female characters. All of my female characters are amazing. I do not have any of these wimpy ones because I'm not writing for
no damsel in distress.
No, there's no damsel in distress. I mean, yeah, he might save her one time, but she's the badass in the end. I got a good, some spicy ones in there where like she teaches him kind of thing. That's book 3.
The roles have reversed.
Yes.
That's one thing I love about like the uniqueness per author. It's like a lot of them like, they stick with like the traditional, like the man saves the girl. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm overprotective, like possessive. Give me all of it. I'm here for it. But I also love certain like the twists when it's like the female steps up and the female goes and saves her own behind, I guess. And the man is there, like the fey male, he is there, or any kind of male. It's the female that really takes the charge and like saves herself. And I love that. It's a unique twist. We don't see it often.
Yeah.
I feel like now we're starting to see it. I feel like the more newer romantic books that are coming out, we're seeing the female kind of step into her own here. There's less damsels in distress. I love both sides is what I'm trying to say.
No, I definitely do too. But it's nice when she can overcome something and change who she is. She has her own character arc.
Yes.
She grows as a person herself. And that's what makes the male character love her even more.
Yeah. She could be independent.
Yes.
With him, which is beautiful. And I love that so much. We spoke a little bit about the world building before. You said that your world building is kind of like a last thought.
It is,
that comes about. So walk us through, what was that process like when you were building this world from the first book to the third book?
It definitely grew.
For sure.
It definitely grew.
Absolutely.
It started as like this little island and it expanded very rapidly. No, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that part of it. Doing the research and coming up with names. And
so was there anything challenging about when you were creating the world? Because you were saying like especially like when you were first starting out, because you were saying Shadows Within the Fire is more of a romance than a fantasy after. So what was it like bringing in like that fantasy aspect and bringing in all these like world building elements to it?
I wouldn't say it was a challenge. It was because of the amount of research I did. I kind of had it flowed pretty well. It was just a lot. I wasn't expecting it to be as time consuming as it was, but it was still fun. And it was cool because I could directly connect the characters to where they were because I built those characters first and then put them in. And it gave me a lot of freedom. So
and it's like we said, it's fantasy, right? Fantasy, you can just do whatever you want. So how do you like weave in like world building topics and like not in like,
I hate it when you just dump it.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
So how do you avoid that in your books?
So the way I did it was my books are from the first person point of view.
I mean,
yes. First person point of view. So if they're seeing it, I'm describing it. Rather than going from above, be like, oh, this is what my world looks like. It's like, oh, I am looking at a mountain. Now I'm going to tell you about this. And this is how it connects to the story. So as my character is moving from place to place, I'm sprinkling in that world building.
So we're experiencing it with them.
Yeah. Rather than it just being like, here is the world of Ilo Terra. Let me just tell you all about it.
And just give us like 50 pages of just the history of it.
No, that bores me as I'm writing it. So I do not do that.
Okay. Very good. As just a reader, I feel like it's overwhelming for me like, I don't know. I'm speaking personally for myself, not for anyone else, but I find it overwhelming. Like if I get like just a description that's like a page long, I'm like, oh, this is not going to get processed right away.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Like, I'm like, ooh, okay, you know what? If it's important, it'll come back, right? Like that's my mentality when I get that info dumping. So I'm glad that like your book is like, no, it's like we weave it in organically. So it's like we learn a little bit about it as the character like approaches it or meets them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then since everything is based kind of on our world, I can say, you know, oh, like a fjord of, you know, in this snow area, you can, oh, I know what a fjord looks like. I can already visualize it. So it makes it a little bit easier.
It's a little familiar.
Yeah, just enough to the reader can picture it in their head without me having to go on for 3 pages.
That makes sense. I appreciate you making it easy on us. There's a lot of characters in your books, right? There's
a lot happening.
There's a lot happening. There's 8 main characters, and each story follows their own set of characters, but they're intertwining. There's things that people know. There's a lot of overlapping information that they know. So how do you keep track of like who knows what or who is where, how secrets are revealed, like that kind of stuff?
I try to stick to only 2 to 4 characters per book. So like in book 1, Everin and Delric are our main characters, and you don't really see, you have like 1 or 2 other side characters, but they are my primary focus. In book 2, we add Katuri and Garen, but you only get like Desmond in there as well. I don't have like all of the characters not highlighted in each book. So like as we move into book 3, Nyla and Desmond are our main focus. And so you still hear about the other characters. They're kind of just, they stepped back to let the others come forward. And so I think having them kind of highlighted in book, it kind of helps keep things straight. And then as far as like, I don't have too many secrets, I guess, to be passed around, but they're all through the dialogue and the conversation between each other. You can see where the lines of
where it all
the plot all connects. Yeah.
And I love that because it adds to the point that we were making just moments before about not info dumping, right?
Yeah.
So if we're finding out like something like a plot twist or some kind of like revolutionary, like some kind of new information, that through that dialogue, I feel like it's the most engaging for me personally as a reader, because I'm like, okay, I'm with this character, like I'm thinking it through with them, like in real time, you know. I feel like that's so much easier to follow than having like information and we're like, okay, wait, we have to go back and remember that. Yeah.
And the side characters, so like Nazneen is one of the side characters in Shadows Within the Fire. She's actually the main character's sister. And so because she is a side character in the first book, she gets more of a highlight in the second. So you already know her and her personality and how she interacts with everybody else. So then when it's her turn to step up, it's not like it's a new character. You already know her.
Yeah.
And you know how she speaks and where she comes from and things that, you know, about her. So it's not like oh crap, this is a new character.
Yeah.
Like,
we're already familiar. Like we've been introduced before. Yes. And I love it. It makes us feel, I guess, like less overwhelmed, like as a reader, like, okay, like, oh my God, there's a new character we have to like look out for. It gets a lot. Like I love like all the characters that we get to meet, but I feel like if we're meeting them for the first time as the story's already in progression, it's like, oh my God.
It's not like, hey, here's 8 characters.
Yeah. It's like, okay, memorize every single one of these characters,
it's
all
not
their
like
profiles. So I love that, like we kind of we're eased into it. Yes. Your magic system, and I'm excited to talk about this part because we were kind of hinting at it earlier. Your magic system is a big part of your books. It's very, very unique. And I love that it revolves around elemental magic.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite magic systems. I love elemental magic. Talk to us about what drew you to this specific type of magic system. Why elemental magic?
I really feel like it's just like the science nerd in me.
The biology degree.
See,
it did make an impact somehow.
And the chemistry. Like, I like that there's different elements and putting them together in different ways alters the magic. Or it, you know, if you combine, you can't, you know, fire and water don't necessarily mix. But when you do put together like fire and air, you get something new. And so I like that. And I feel like it's all around us anyways. Earth is around us. I'm a huge plant lover. You know, Katori has her greenhouse. This is my plant for my house. You can't see it. The camera can't see it, but I have.
You guys can see it. Yeah.
That is my plant. You know, and I love storms. Like I'm a huge weather nerd too. And, you know, let's bring in the air element then, you know, fire is really cool. This is my brain, how my brain works, like excited electrons and like how it can jump from one thing to another and how it
That's the
destroys
biology in you.
how it destroys things, but at the same time, new life comes from,
Yes.
the wreckage of it. And I don't know, I just felt really drawn to that type of magic system. So
I love it. It's so fascinating. What are some key things to know, like about the magic system? If you can say any like non-spoilery things. Like,
what you think you know about elemental magic will change once you get to book 2. I have a massive twist in it, and you're not going to expect it. And then I take that twist and I flip it upside down. Yeah, for the bad, not the good.
so basically, take everything you know about elemental magic and just throw it out the window.
Yes.
And then just go in with an open mind and don't expect anything.
Yeah.
Don't expect anything,
Yeah.
and just let her tell you what it is.
And as I'm writing the 4th book right now, it's just like capsizing everything. So
it's flipping it back,
Yep.
right side up, but
Yep.
not right side up. It's kind of
Yep.
like sideways. It's kind of like diagonal at this point.
don't go in there like, oh, I know what's going to happen, because you don't.
Just go in not knowing anything. Just don't expect anything, and then you should just take it with what you will.
I try to trip you up.
Which actually, I love that though, because it's like I feel like it keeps us engaged, right? I feel like if we know, okay, like this is elemental magic, we know what it is. There's no surprise. There's no like, ooh, like I didn't expect it to go this way. Like it doesn't. There's nothing to keep us to read more. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't expect like the plot twist on top of a plot twist. I did not expect that. So, thank you for that warning. Warning. I know you said, remind me of her name, of the
Katori.
That's your favorite character.
She is my favorite. Yes.
Does she have any of your personality, like any of your characteristics, or do any of your characters have any of your own?
I feel like
your chaos.
my chaos. I feel like yes, she might have some. I try not to put myself in the character because I don't want my life to navigate where they're going. Okay. I really try to, bits and pieces. Like Everin, she has that analytical, organized side of her, like I do, but at the same time, I have Katori's love of whimsy. So I do like little pieces of myself, but one character is not completely based off of me, or one character is not based off someone I know, except one, and it's not a person. Eleni, who is Katori's familiar, is based off a dog. My sister's dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So she's the only character in the book that is 100% based off something.
Okay.
Or someone.
And what's the dog's name?
Her name is Jenny Weasley.
Stop it right now.
She's a red healer that was rescued, and her name is Jenny, and Eleni's personality is Jenny. I actually sat with my sister and I made her write down like,
what does she do?
What does she do? How would she do this? How would she react to this? How would she chase a bird? And that is Eleni. That was my thank you, because she's the one that I bounce all my ideas off of. So this is my thank you to her for being there for me. I made a character for her dog.
Oh my gosh. Is she the one that drew?
She drew Drake. Yes.
She drew Drake.
So my sister is also an artist, and she does a lot of my landscapes and some of my characters. And so the sea dragon Drake is her creation. Oh yeah, you can grab it.
I'm going to show. And these are also freebies.
Yes, take some.
But this is, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it is beautiful. I can't believe your sister made
Yeah, she's amazing.
It's beautiful. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, very cool. We could talk about the art all day. So
I know we could.
So who created your other character art?
So my artist that I work with in London, her name's May. She took my ideas and kind of ran with them, and she's amazing. I've used her for the last 2.5 years because I started working with her before my book came out. So she did all my character art as well as a lot of scene art that I have like on social media and stuff.
Very cool. I'm obsessed with the Firebird.
Yes,
and
that's Aura
and him.
Yes, and Drake.
Love him. He's amazing. Was there anything in any of your books that made it to like the final publishing that wasn't planned?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I actually, in the first book, I killed somebody, and
Great.
I killed a bad guy in the book.
For the internet purposes, she killed somebody in the book. Not in real life.
No.
I'm like
someone's gonna come
SWAT team come in here.
Honestly, though, if they haven't come after me based off Google searches, I think I'm fine.
Your FBI agent in your phone is like, I'm not even faced. She's like, your husband, I'm not even faced.
Nope. No, I actually killed off a character in the book who was a villain, and it's not the villain you expect. So this doesn't give anything away. And my beta readers were like, "That happened too fast.
Oh,
You can't kill him yet. You need him." And I was like, "I'm going to trust you on this." And so I brought him. He's actually in the series, and it was not that way originally. And the first book was actually back to the first book. It was supposed to be a standalone. I actually had alternate endings. So originally it had 3 different endings, and based off luck of the draw was what ending you got, and then you would have to collect the series or like the group of books.
wait, so you published 2 endings?
No, I did not publish it.
Oh, okay.
I ended up not doing
Okay.
it because when I asked people, they all loved a specific ending. So I
Okay.
rewrote the ending, but it originally had 3 separate endings,
Oh,
who was going to be the villain.
okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So
It did not happen, but that was something that I changed. Yeah.
okay. I'm very intrigued by that. So you were going to publish 3 different
I was going to, yeah.
with 3 different endings.
With alternate endings, yeah.
Interesting. You know, I feel like you could have done like choose your adventure, like
Yeah.
those books, like with one, and you could have been like, okay, do you want this?
Do you
If you want
want
this
this
ending,
or
go to
this?
yeah.
Because originally it was just going to be one. And then I changed.
True,
And
yeah.
then I changed my mind
Yeah.
after writing it, or like once I finished it before I published it.
So what made you change your mind? Was there just too much that was left unfinished? Or
No, I definitely feel like the book wraps up very well. There is not really a cliffhanger. There is a little bit of a, oh, what was that? But it's not like a, oh, you have to move on.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to expand on the world, and I was enjoying writing. It was
you wanted to stay in
I wanted to stay in that writing mindset. And so I just kept going.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So now that you have 3 books published, because at the time you only had the 2, and we were going to talk about
Yes.
this one, but that's okay. Now we have 3.
Now we have
So which one would you say was the most challenging to write out of the 3? Were there any challenges at all?
I would, yeah, definitely. I think because the first one, I did not plot anything out. It was a really big challenge going back and fixing things, and creating a plot around these characters and these scenes that had already been flushed out like 100%, and having to fit them in. That was really difficult. I had a hard time writing book 3.
Really?
Yeah, it's not, as you can see, it's not as big as the other ones. It's a little bit of a smaller book.
Small but mighty.
Yes, she is. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a filler book, but it definitely is prepping you for the next one. That's the final book in the series. So I wanted to make sure I went back and everything was smoothed out. There was no like hangnails to say in any of the first 2 books that could potentially cause issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was what made it so hard. Is I think I've reread the first 2 books over and over and over again just to make sure everything is
Like
continuity.
makes sense.
Yeah. And so I think that was why it was hard to write it.
Okay, that makes sense. On the other hand, what was your favorite?
This
second
is
book?
my baby.
Yeah?
I love this book so much. It's my favorite out of all of them.
Is it because like by then you had like a rhythm going, so you kind of knew?
I think so. And
Okay.
I like I said, I'm in love with these 2 characters.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
it was just really easy to write, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. Garen is sassy, and he's just a jokester,
Yeah.
but he can be serious at the same time. And so he was just really fun to write.
Well, I'm glad the second book was really fun.
Yes.
I feel like after the first one, you kind of like understood, like, okay, like, and you started plotting, you said.
I
in
did, yeah.
This one. So is this the one that you wrote in a day?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't believe you wrote this book in a day. That blows my mind.
Again, it was not this full length when I wrote
Right,
it all.
yes.
Like when I say I wrote it in the day, it was not like,
Start to
perfect
finish.
scenes.
Yeah.
It was like lots of scattered thoughts,
Yeah.
lots of bullet points. Like, this is going to happen. This is where the scene is happening.
Yeah.
This is who's interacting where.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I love that. And it is the chunkiest out of
It
the
is
3.
the chunkiest.
So
out of-
I think that also tells like I had so much fun writing
I
this
did,
book. Like
yes.
I didn't want to leave this world. So
Yeah.
I love that for you. You've been talking about book 4 and Megan has a special announcement that has never been heard before.
Nope.
First time on the show.
Yes.
And I am so honored that you chose my platform to share this information.
Well, you've been so wonderful. You have like helped me so much this last year. You're amazing.
I appreciate you so much. All right, Megan, tell our audience, tell the world, what is the special announcement? It's all you.
My fourth book is the final of the series. It is Black Dahlia Rising. This is the first time anyone has ever seen this cover or the title. And it actually comes out on September 14th. So only a few months from now.
Which September 14th is also
my birthday.
That's the best birthday present.
Birthday present to myself. So yeah, it's exciting. I was nervous about it being published so quickly and so soon and all the things, but I'm too excited to hang on to it. I've had this book title and the cover done for over a year.
Really?
And I've just been sitting on it. And so
is this the first time like it's in public right
nobody
now?
has ever seen this. When Bass put up the sign was the first time somebody ever saw it.
So you're the first person to see it.
Yes.
Right.
You are the very first person to see the fourth cover. How does that make you feel?
My beta readers don't even know. Like my alpha readers have it right now and they don't know the title or anything yet. So y'all are the first.
Don't you guys feel so special? I feel special. I don't know about you guys, but she's like, yeah, I know, right? Well, I love it. We'll get a close-up of the book cover and we'll put it in this part of the video, but I love that it's purple. Vana is purple.
That was an accident, but it's wonderful.
It's a happy accident. Are you kidding me? All right. So you already told us the date and all of that. What can we expect? It's the final book, right? So everything is wrapping up on a nice tight bow, right? So what can we expect going into it?
We are getting two characters that are not new, Nazneen and Eric.
Okay.
Everyone has been begging for their backstory and how they are going to, come together to help round out the main plot. And so people asked for it, so I wrote it. It is their book.
Right.
And it also, you are going to, I can't give that away. That's, I can't say that. I can't say that. It's going to take that elemental magic that I flipped upside down. It's going to rewrite it.
Yeah.
And, or rewrite. That's not the right word.
Right side up.
I write for a living, guys. I don't know the word. And it's definitely going to have some fun twist in there. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited. And again, I'm so excited that you shared it with us first. I feel so special.
I'm not going to lie. I was really nervous about sharing it, but I'm excited it's out there.
So excited that it's out there. Well, you can't take it back now.
I can't take it back.
Like the internet will see this.
Yes.
So, but I am so excited for you. I love that it's purple. Again, that's just a personal thing. But I love that we're wrapping up this series. So how does it feel like wrapping the series up? You said it's already with your alpha reader. So for the most part, it's done,
it's
right?
Done.
So how does it feel like leaving this world?
I'm
wrapping
sad.
It's your first series, right? It's your debut series.
It is.
You've been with us for 2 years.
I know.
Probably longer than that because
it took me about 3.5 years with it.
And now you're like just wrapping it up, saying goodbye.
Yeah.
How is that for you? It's like your children, right? It's just,
No, it's exciting because it's closure on this project that's like really changed my life. And so it's gratifying and it's kind of like a launching pad. Like I'm excited for the next series. I'm excited for new projects and
okay, well, before we start talking about your new projects, because I know you want to talk a little bit about that, but I have a random question for audiobook girlies. I'm the audiobook girly, and
me too.
Other people.
Audiobooks.
Is there any thoughts, considerations, roadmap of getting audiobooks for your books?
Yep, I actually emailed about 15 different narrators this past week, looking to possibly hire someone to do it. Yes.
Awesome.
So it's just one of those things that's very daunting because I have no idea what the steps are to do it. So I'm learning as I'm going, and that's kind of scary because these are characters that in my head, I have their voices in my head. So I'm having to find someone that's going to
bring it to
match my expectations. And at the same time, I want to reach those narrators who are just starting out who are, this is their side job because they have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Like I want someone that kind of at the same level as I am. And so that's going to be part of my interview process. And I want the same people for the entire series so that there's continuity, because that's why I waited. I didn't want to have different voices because
that makes sense.
Makes my brain happy when everything is smooth. So
it makes it more realistic. Right?
Yeah.
Because like you're bringing, like audiobooks bring the worlds to life. So you want, like if it's one character with one narrator, you want to make sure that it's them. But do you want it to be like a duet narration? Like, I'm getting greedy here. Like,
no, I do. Ideally, I would love to have it as a duet. I don't know if that's feasible.
That's fair. That's fair.
It kind of just depends on what my timeline is, how much I can save up for it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I know duet's more expensive.
It is. Cost is a big thing, and it's
It was more so like, are you is it in consideration?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
But then again, I've talked to a few narrators, or I've listened to narrators who are so fantastic that they don't need somebody else to balance them out, that their talent. Yes. So that's also a thing.
I will take that. Listen, I'm here for it. Like I said, audiobook girly. I love
audiobooks.
They're amazing. They're so good. It's the only way I can read. I don't have time to do it any other way.
Folding laundry, listening to audiobooks.
Cleaning the
driving
house.
to baseball.
Absolutely. Yes. If readers can take away something from reading your books for the first time, the second time,
people read my books twice.
Yes, that is a huge. Yes, I will say yes. I'm confident that people will read your books, reread them, especially if there's an audiobook coming out. I can definitely say a reread is expected there. What do you hope readers take away from your books?
Being true to yourself. Everyone goes through different trials in their lives, and just because one trial is hard doesn't mean that the other person's trials are less or more significant or less significant than what you are. Just accepting people for who they are, and trusting your own growth and at the time that comes. That's kind of what this series has taught me personally as I've been writing it. I started it when I was struggling, personally in my life, and watching my characters grow helped me grow and heal. And so I hope that I can give that to my readers.
Don't make me cry. Sorry. Don't make me cry. I cannot cry today. But I love that. That's beautiful. And I love that romantasy always, like it is like, I know like a lot of genres do that, but I feel like romantasy specifically gives us as readers, like that opportunity to like, you can be who you want to be and kind of broaden your horizons and do your own thing. And I love that. I feel like that's just like an overcompassing theme in romantasy, and I love that. I will never get tired of that. Let's wrap this up here. So I know you spoke a little bit about your upcoming projects. So is there anything you're working on after you finish this series?
Yes. So I actually, I've been having in my mind a romance series after this, contemporary romance, not fantasy. I'm actually traveling to a different country this summer to do research. I'll be going to Iceland. So
jealous.
Which it was originally a family trip, but as this story is coming together in my head, it's changing location. So I'm going to go do some research.
It's research purpose. It's a business trip.
It's a business trip.
We're putting it here. Research purposes. Business trip can easily be expensive.
It is. I'm planning on bringing my camera and
your notebook,
some journals, because I handwrite everything. And I am going offline for the 2 weeks that we're going to be there. And I'm going to dive in.
Your research, right? You're taking notes on atmosphere and energy and right.
I've already started. I bought a book on Scandinavian history that I've been reading.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
So I'm excited for that. I wasn't planning on shifting genres that drastically, but it was just something that I wanted to write. So I'm just going to go for it.
Well, you said you've been sitting on it for a while.
I have. It's been about a year that I started thinking about it before I even wrote the third book. But I obviously wanted to continue writing this. I didn't want to leave my readers hanging.
Yeah.
So, and then I do have another fantasy series that kind of parallels this in the bare bones of outlines. It's there, but it hasn't been my focus yet.
Fair, but I love that you're branching out.
Yeah,
I love that we get to hear a different voice from you. I love that. I'm excited for
romance is my other genre that I love. If I'm not reading fantasy, I'm reading romance.
Yeah,
So.
I love that. It's going to be an Iceland inspired, like Scandinavian. I love that. I'm here for it. Please take pictures.
Oh,
I know you're not going to be online.
My husband bought a drone.
Oh,
and so we should be able to get some really cool shots.
I'm so excited.
He was like flying around in the living room and the dog's like running from it.
Oh my God.
But it's like this big. It's crazy. And the camera is amazing on it. So I'm excited.
Oh, I've seen like drone like videos and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's, oh my God, I'm so excited.
And the kids are so excited to go too.
They're all coming?
Oh yeah. We're camping.
It's gonna be like a family,
We're literally camping
business trip.
Family business trip.
That's what we're calling it, family business trip. It's research purposes.
Yes.
I love that. I hope you have so much fun and I can't wait to see photos. I'm so excited for you. What has, you kind of spoke about it already, but like what has writing and romantasy taught you about yourself as a person and as a storyteller?
Just to go out there and be wild about it, you know?
Be chaotic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're taking huge leaps, you know, just like in the fantasy world, but also like as a person, like I would have not had the confidence to like, hey, I'm going to go talk to 300 people today at the book signing about this thing that I made up, you know, but just taking those risks because you can't have the rewards if you don't take the risk. I feel like that's one of the big things that I've learned. But yeah.
It's really funny how you said like you're going to go and talk to 300 people about this thing you made up. It's like, I have imaginary friends in my head. Let me tell you about
them. To me randomly, like
when you think of reading, like that's literally what it is. It's just like I have
their characters are running dialogue in my head like all the time. There is no break from it. Like it's just always there.
Let me tell you what they're thinking.
Yes.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. If you can go back in time to when Megan was writing Shadows Within the Fire, what advice would you give her knowing what you know now?
Don't second guess yourself. Just write it down. Again, it's going to be crap, but that's okay because you'll fix it.
I love that.
Yeah.
You can't edit what's not there.
Exactly. Yeah. So just not second guessing.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Final question here. If you can give one piece of advice to aspiring authors, what would you tell them?
I don't know.
I've never had someone tell me I don't know before. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, I feel like taking that risk or like putting yourself out there is a big thing. You know, don't compare yourself to other authors. I feel like that's the biggest piece of advice I guess I could give because it takes away from the joy of the craft by comparing yourself. So like you see all these people who are famous and or like indie authors who get randomly picked up by a TV series. Like that's fantastic for them. Cheer on those people because, you know, we're all in it together. We're all in the same place. So comparing yourself's just going to take the joy away from it.
Yeah. And it goes back to like every story, like yes, in specifically romantasy we're talking about, but the tropes are the same. It's usually the same. Like it's the hero's journey is like the structure, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it's like how you make it unique. Like what what are you bringing that makes it
Your
different?
Story has value.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's that uniqueness. Like what makes it different for you? Like what is happening in your head that you want to be put on paper? And I think that's super important.
Yeah, just cheer on your other writers.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Megan, thank you so much for that wonderful conversation.
Oh,
thanks, applause for Megan. Again, she told us her secret first. I will live with that. This is a memorable day for me, but
I'm glad.
We are going to turn it to my friends here. Hi. Do you have any questions for Miss Megan?
Hi. So you were talking about how the names, you have to look them up specifically with their culture.
Yes.
Are you going to create a diagram of maybe the name and the culture so we have to look up later what the meaning is? That way it still stays mysterious, but we can get the true meaning if we dig ourselves.
I'll write this down to add to
culture.
the many random things I should do for my readers.
That's your homework.
That's my homework. Thank you.
That would be cool.
That would be
then
cool.
You can go in there and you just get a deeper understanding of each character.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. If that's something that you'd be interested in. Let me write this down. I'll just go back and listen to it so I can.
I find a lot of that stuff is more like fan generated.
Yeah.
So I figured if it came from the author, it'd be authentic and
yes.
something.
I can do it.
So you said that
like the your readers had begged for like the backstory of one of your characters. So does that mean like there's mysterious backstory like for multiple characters or for that character that will like later be revealed? Because I love that. It's like my tea when like you have a very like vague like you don't understand what happened with the character's past and like it slowly fleshes out like over the series.
Yeah, I actually went back and, you know, I had the backstory in my head as I was writing the side character, but then when the person asked for it, I'm like, okay, how can I fit this into the plot? And I rewrote all of that and I took it and I put it into the series for my readers. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
I'm not sure if you had said this already or not, but are any of your characters inspired by people in your life?
No, none of them are directly inspired by people in my life. I didn't want to be like, hey, I wrote a character about you because that'd be kind of weird, especially because I write some spice into my books. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, this is based off this person I met at Walmart and it's super spicy. Like I thought that would be weird. So the only thing that's based off an actual being in my life is Elaney, who is the familiar, which is my sister's dog.
Yeah.
But I have taken inspiration from interactions I've had with people or, you know, funny comments or funny traits, and I have put those into my characters. Yeah.
And then I have a question about the names. You said they took a lot of research. Is there a specific name that took like the longest or that you're most proud of?
Let's see. Yeah, I would say it's not a name of a character, it's a creature that I've came up with it's in the fourth book. It's a mythical creature that I pulled from Russian mythology. And so I twisted it a little bit to make it my own, but the name, the inspiration is from an actual mythological creature in Russian culture. So yeah.
I can't wait to read that and find out.
Yes, I won't tell you anything about it because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I had Russian gymnastics teachers or coaches like when I was younger. And so that was kind of where I was like, hey, let's do this.
Hi again. Hi. Do you kind of like when you were doing research, did you ever tie in any mythology or any legends? Like think of that to kind of like help with your world building or any of the familiars or creatures that you created?
Yeah. In the second book, we meet a Boto Encantado, which is a river dolphin that shifts and it's based in the Amazon. So the rainforest is where I'm going with that. So I took that mythology of the dolphin shifters. They would come out at night and they would like lure people back to the water.
Like a selkie.
Kind of, yeah. So I did use that. Like that's pretty accurate as far as the mythology goes. That was probably one of my favorites that I wrote.
First, you mentioned that you like kind of upended your magic system partway through the book. Did you take any of the tropes and upend them as well?
I don't think so. I think I was pretty consistent with the tropes. Yeah, it was really just the magic system.
Okay. And then the other question is, you mentioned that part of the reason you didn't insert people from your life is because you then wrote them spicy scenes. So I was just wondering, for each of the 4 books, how many chili peppers would you give them?
Well, the first one's pretty tame. I didn't want to like startle my family and be like, hey, mom, I wrote this book. It's unhinged. No, I would say it's... Yay! No.
Enjoy these 5 peppers.
Right? No, I would say it's probably about the 3 spicy chili peppers. The second book does bump it up to a 4. The third, I would say 3 or 4. Honestly, it depends on what kind of spice you read. If you read kind of vanilla spice, this one might shock you. But if you read like dark romance or mafia romance, this is pretty tame. So it kind of just depends on what you read.
Speaking my language.
Yeah. So, I mean, they would say like it is open door. It is pretty, detailed. There might be some bondage and that kind of thing in book 2 that some people would be shocked by role
None of
play
us are clutching our
reversals, that kind of thing. So it kind of just depends. It does get spicier as it goes. I'll have to get your opinion on the scene in book 4. I don't know if it's too much. I'll email it to you.
So, you know, with world building, sometimes there's like languages and stuff. Is there like a mythical language, or, you know, like, do you hear like Elven speak or something, or like Fey language?
Wish I was that talented to come up with another language. I am not.
That's totally fine.
In the second one, we're being introduced to their blood binding, which is like mating for so you can like bond your magic together. And the priestess does have like the ancient language that she is speaking during that. So I did create that. But that's the extent of my linguistics skills.
I need a gavel. I need a Vanaverse gavel.
Yes, you do. Purple. Hey, I'll bedazzle it for you.
Stop it right now. Yes. Can we actually make that happen?
Yeah,
Purple.
I will bedazzle you a purple gavel.
I have a question. I actually have one question.
Oh, he has a question.
So, out of all the narrators you've heard, who would be the perfect person to narrate your book?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm so bad with people's names.
Morgan Freeman.
I know who that is. Morgan Freeman. I love Teddy Hamilton. He's fantastic. Teddy Hamilton, if you watch this video and you want to be the narrator for my book, 100% I'll let it happen.
I want to be interviewed. Send me a message.
Please come hang out with us. I'm just so bad with people's names. I could hear their voice and be like, yes, I know that person. But then I'm like, I talked to you face to face 5 times and then I forget your name. Like, I'm just.
That's fair. That's fair.
It happens.
Well, if there are no more questions, we can wrap up. Yes. I got to do my closing.
My closing too.
You got to wait till I do my closing and then you do. This is not our first time doing this. Like, oh my gosh. All right. Well, we will close this part of the event. Megan, thank you so much yes, round of applause for Megan. Very good. This was such a great conversation. And thank you so much. Again, she told us first. I will not live that down. It was
for you. A gift from me.
I feel so special. I appreciate it. Well, we are going to take a 10-ish minute break. When we come back, Megan is going to read us a section of her newest book. So in the meantime, we can stretch, get some coffee, which I will go get, and use the restroom. Yes, ma'am. Stretch our legs, all the things. And we will be back in a few minutes. Yay! Close. Yay!
I didn't do it with them that time.
Welcome back. We are going to listen to Megan read a little snippet
to read.
Attempt to read. That's why we talked about audiobook narrators earlier. She's going to read a little bit of Echoes of a Crimson Storm, which is her newest book in her series. Megan, when you're ready, take it away. Oh, but wait, first you have to say, why did you pick this part?
Oh, I didn't pick this passage. My husband did. He, this is the first time I've ever done a reading before. And so I had no idea where to start.
Well, there's a lot of firsts today. I'm like,
so I was a little intimidated. So he like coached me for like an hour and a half last night on how to do this. He's such a good supporter.
Oh,
so yeah, he actually picked this short scene for me to read because he's like, he likes Nyla, it's her point of view. And it's like, gives you a little bit of her kind of like personal dilemma as well as a little bit of the scene. So, but without spoilers.
Yes. All right. Take it away.
So this is chapter 14, Nyla. All I could hear was the pounding of blood in my ears, echoing as heavy, ragged breaths from the exertion of our climb. Desperately, I tried to pull air into my lungs, but I felt like I couldn't expand my ribs completely. My body was stiff and sore for sleeping for days on end, and from nearly being mauled by a fiend. Desmond had slowed his pace as the slope increased, but I still struggled to keep up. To his credit, he didn't utter a single complaint each time I stopped to catch my breath. Ironic, I was an air elemental who couldn't breathe. He briefly explained that there was no other way to Leto Selva each time I paused. But there was nothing more we could do. We had to go over the mountains. There was no other choice. The Baxmar Range stretched the entire length of Quintier. If I had my powers, I would have simply flown, but that wasn't an option. Thankfully, the sun had warmed the slopes. I was sweating under the wool cloak Desmond had lent me. I couldn't think of anything worse than fighting for every breath and shivering in the cold. Not only was I powerless, but I was also weak and had no purpose for my bleak future. I didn't know who I was or where my home outside the temple was. I belonged to the temple within moments of my birth. I devoted my life to service, and now nothing. The last 600 years was simply a waste. I led a very isolated life, though it was a good life. Nothing I could protest about in particular. No hardships. So why had I been so unhappy with working there? And to top everything off, while it may seem minor, I only had pants to wear. She likes to wear dresses. So this is a bit. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. We'll stop here for tonight, Desmond said. Thank the powers above. What? Why? I asked, panting. Despite how hard I tried, there was no hiding the glee at the thought of sitting down for a few hours. He pinched his lips together. Was he suppressing a smile? Jerk. Not all of us could look that good and be perfect at climbing mountains all day. He was bright-faced and breathing completely normally. There was a light breeze and he had leaned into it to touch his face. How could he look so at home while I struggled for every breath? Fuck him. You seem a little winded, he said with a cheeky grin. I shot him a glare. I was winded. I was clearly out of shape for these steep slopes. I planted my hands on my knees and let my head drop in a resigned defeat. Fine. I gave up my facade. Everything hurt. And was seeing me at my most vulnerable.
Oh, you did good.
She's 600 plus years old. How old is he?
He is about 120. She teaches him.